know, I'll be the first to say, the Blues will never win another Stanley Cup with Jordan Binnington again. A happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome back to Around the Waves for a very special episode today. I'm your host, Luca Vitale, and while joining me today is going to be Minnesota native Zach Zeman. How are you, Zach?
Ooh, I represent the state of Minnesota now. Let's go. I'm great. How are you, man?
I'm good, thanks. The National Hockey League's newest expansion team, the Seattle Kraken. Not too long ago, Zach, we had an expansion draft in 2017 to welcome the Vegas Golden Knights. And last night, we just saw the 32nd team added to the National Hockey League. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Prior to the draft, we had 30 of the NHL's other 31 teams. They had to submit their lists of protected and available players, those that did not know. The Vegas Golden Knights didn't have to expose any of their players due to their novelty of the league, despite their success. We can get that another day. On another note, the Seattle Kraken will compete in the Pacific Division beginning this upcoming season at Climate Pledge Arena, while the Arizona Coyotes will move to compete in the Central Division. So, Zach, last night we saw several big names available to the Kraken, like Montreal Canadiens goaltender Carey Price, or centerpiece from the Colorado Avalanche, Gabriel Landeskog. Obviously, we saw that the Kraken didn't choose to select either of those names, but they still got several players that can compete, and they still can create a winning culture in the Emerald City. So I'm going to ask you this, Zach. What's the Kraken's best pick?
You know, I really there's a lot of weird picks that were made last night. You know, when we saw Vegas come in, they took Marc-Andre Fleury as their goaltender, a great person to build around, a veteran in the league, a big name. But Seattle took a couple, no-namers almost, and just younger players. But my favorite pick has to be from the two-time Stanley Cup champions in the last couple of years, Yanni Gourde. I can definitely see his experience with helping Tampa Bay in the past couple of years transitioning really well into the Seattle Kraken organization, and his expertise and experience can definitely be a boost to this young team. So I really like that pick.
Yeah, we're on the same page, actually. When I was watching this last night, I saw plenty of good picks. Jordan Eberle, I saw Joonas Donskoi, I saw Calle Jarnkrok. I saw plenty of good picks, but the one that really popped up to me is the one that you just said. He's Yanni Gourde of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, obviously, the Lightning simply couldn't protect everyone that was on that Stanley Cup squad, which left them completely vulnerable, which my prediction, it was going to be between Gourde and Andre Palat going to Seattle. But obviously, what Seattle's getting in Gourde is easily a versatile top six center, on the squad that brings value both on and the offensive and defensive side of the ice. He's only 29 years of age. I mean, he's coming off back-to-back Stanley Cups, like you just said, in Tampa Bay, along with 4 straight seasons with 10 plus goals and 30 plus points, which is obviously giving this young squad some playoff experience and some talent. He's under contract until 2025, which is some really good news for the Kraken fans. Obviously, Gourde is someone that has some serious, great resilience and tenacity that's going to have a positive influence in the locker room and on the ice. He had a decent season last year with 17 goals and 19 assists in 56 games. He did struggle in the Stanley Cup run last time around, only 6 goals and 1 assist. But he did play in the same line as Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman, which if you really asked me, is it kind of a reincarnation of Detroit's grind line back in the day. So, and with his ability to set the tone at the start of every goal with his effective forecheck and versatile play, I really do think he's going to be a great fit for this Kraken team. And I honestly think he's going to be a catalyst for the Seattle offense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I can definitely see him becoming a leader. Maybe they won't probably assign captains this first year. I don't know, but if they do, he can definitely be a front runner for it. I also like the addition of Mark Giordano. I mean, you have to get some veterans on this new roster. You just have to, and you have to, bring that veteran presence in with this young team. It's almost the team of misfit toys, from Rudolph there. I don't know. I only misfit toys. Good. I mean, when you bring all these guys together, you got to have one like one or two solid guys who can definitely like form a team and for players to look up to in this organization. So that addition of Mark Giordano really, I feel like was good. You know, he carries a cap hit of $6.75 million, but I mean, you just have to do that in this league. They had several chances. Carey Price was there. And actually, Ron Francis said he was appealing in this Pierre LeBrun story from The Athletic this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he said he was tempting, but they decided to go with a different direction, which is totally like expected. I mean, when your best goalie Jake Allen, you know, is protected and Carey Price is put out there, you definitely get kind of tied up in that. But I really do. I don't know. This new team is super young, and I can't stress that enough. Their defensive depth is through the roof. I can definitely see them making moves once this trade freeze ends in an hour after the time we're recording this podcast. A lot's going to go down, and this is not a permanent roster whatsoever. They're going to make moves. They have, I believe, like about $28 million in cap space. That's a lot. And and when you can manipulate these teams who are thirsty for defensemen, a lot can happen. This is not the team going into the first game against Vancouver. It's not that. Yeah. Like, this is just a rough draft almost. And they have so many options to make. It's just really going to be interesting coming down the wire pretty soon here with the NHL draft on Friday night. They have the second overall pick. That is usually you get the top three that play, in the year they're drafted. So their second rounder could definitely make a fit in their game day roster. And, you know, there's just a lot to happen in these next couple weeks here, 2 to 3 weeks. They got to flip players and a lot can happen. So it's great.
I mean, you're not wrong there. I mean, we still got free agency to go, which is next week. It opens. And then they also have the second overall pick in Friday's draft. So we got lots to work on this. I mean, this is not even close to being a finished product, like you just said. I do want to touch up on your point on the young defensemen. We did see that their 3 first picks from Boston, Buffalo, and Detroit, all young defensemen. Jeremy Lazone, 24 years old, Will Borgen, 24 years old from Buffalo, and Dennis Cholowski from Detroit, 23 years old. So all these guys have very little NHL experience. They do have a lot of AHL experience, or and they were in any minor league affiliate, but they have plenty of experience. And I do think they're going to provide lots of blue line depth. Obviously, you got a great captain potentially in Mark Giordano, who has a 15-year vet who played in Calgary for that long, and he knows a thing or two about defense. So I think he's going to teach these guys a lot of good skills for the upcoming future.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's go on to the next question that I want to provide with you. This is going to be a new segment, so I'm going to end it right here. Guys, to follow back, we are going to do another segment on will the Seattle Kraken make the playoffs next season?